My name is Ginny, also known as 2/3 Lotus, everywhere on the internet. This clip is part of my series, The Poets of Twitch, where I analyze my viewers' writing live on stream. Nothing has been edited out, so you're seeing this exactly as streamed with all of the imperfections and tangents that come with being live. If you want to catch me live or want more information, check out the description. Otherwise, enjoy some excellent writing. Used to be here. And this is by I don't like capital letters. Do on the grass. Okay. Here it is. Nachtwache by DewOnTheGrass. What is crawling in the dark? A shadowed night, a wretched beast. It shuns the day and bears no mark. So spare no light, the vigil least. Daughter, darling, say no word. Rest, my child, bear no blight. We draw our bows and draw our swords, and pray we die, but not tonight. Meter? Drawn and quartered, fast asleep, we knew not what we saw and seemed, as lost, dismembered, scattered sheep, to wander blind past futures dreamed. But still we rise and fight and pelt the foes that brashly beat us through. Until revered horizons melt, we draw belabored breath unto. The worst of worlds comes to pass, when secrets rise not to the masses. Legends pass, not where they ought, and evil masks as justice sought. Hold your line, lest when line's yours, afore your conscience darkness soars, across good kingdom swift and low, so draw your sword and draw your bow. Very fantasy. Here to lurk. Hope you're having a good time. Hello, Nasina. Welcome, glad to have you. Meter, baby. Yeah. It took me a second to catch on to the meter. But that's Nachtwache by DewOnTheGrass. I'm gonna read it one more time, because that's what we do. What is crawling in the dark? A shadowed night? A wretched beast, it shuns the day and bears no mark, so spare no light, the vigil least. Daughter, darling, say no word. Rest, my child, bear no blight. We draw our bows and draw our swords, and pray we die, but not tonight. Drawn and quartered, fast asleep, we knew not what we saw and seemed, as lost, dismembered, scattered sheep, to wander blind past futures dreamed. But still we rise and fight and pelt the foes that brashly beat us through, until revered horizons melt, we draw belabored breath unto. The worst of worlds comes to pass, when secrets rise not to the masses, legends pass not where they ought, and evil masks as justice sought. Hold your line, lest when line's yours, afore your conscience darkness soars. Across good kingdom swift and low, so draw your sword and draw your bow. Nachtwache by DewOnTheGrass. So, it actually feels really strange to have the blank page after such a such a full page of drawings and notes and whatnot. So I'm just gonna draw a bow and a sword here. This actually wouldn't be drawn, but that's fine. Okay. So what is this poem? What are we talking about? So Nachtwache, it does kind of lay everything on the table. It does. And from what I understand, I mean, I know that Nacht means night in German. And I think watch means watch, as in night watch. Is this correct, DewOnTheGrass, so I don't have to go look it up? Night watch? Correct. Okay. Awesome. Night watch. One word. So we definitely tell this story, and it's quite a good one, right? We have something off in the distance, in the darkness, something scary and threatening, and, you know, you must be silent, you need to protect your children from it, and we are going to fight off the darkness, right? Drawn and quartered, fast asleep, we knew not what we saw and seemed, as lost dismembered scattered sheep, to wander blind past future's dreams. But still we rise and fight in pelts, the foes that brashly beat us through, until revered horizons melt, we draw belabored breath unto. This seems, I mean, it says fast asleep, it, you know, talks about dreams, which is interesting. How, like, dream and sleep relates into this, especially with the night. But we'll talk about that. So this is, like, sleep section. And then, but we rise and fight and pelt the foes that brashly beat us through. Until revered horizons melt, we draw belabored breath unto. The worst of worlds, let me put this in blue, comes to pass when secrets rise, not to the masses. Legends pass not where they ought, and evil masks as justice sought. Hold your line, lest when line's yours, afore your conscience, darkness soars. Across good kingdoms swift and low, so draw your sword and draw your bow. The worst of worlds comes to pass when secrets rise not to the masses. Worst of worlds comes to pass, so this generally means like the world is good if the worst is coming to pass when secrets do not rise to the masses, as to say, when the people are kept safe. Legends pass not where they ought, and evil masks as justice sought. Again, these ideas, these tales of danger, staying outside, keep the people safe, roughly. And evil masks as justice sought. I think this is to say, evil masks as justice sought, that the only time that the people, if they are safe, see evil is as, you know, justice prevail, right? Evil is only known in the sense that evil will be taken care of. Hold your line, lest when line's yours, afore your conscience darkness soars, do a 4 before. It's pretty sure. Hold your line lest when line's yours. Before, we can say before. I cannot write. Afore your conscience, darkness soars. So I think this is sort of, hold your line when before your conscience, so in front of your experience, right? Like what you are seeing, darkness soars. When there is evil, hold the line, fight. Reiterating across good kingdoms, swift and low, so draw your sword and draw your bow. Fairly simple, on surface at least. The idea of this night watch, keeping the people safe from knights and beasts and danger and all of these things. Of course, one must then go in and wonder, is there some amount of metaphor in this poem? What is it hiding? What are we going to find? And we'll find that after I go to the bathroom, after this ad break, that you're not going to watch. Even though money is good and it makes the world go round. We love capitalism here. Like we said, good poetry is poetry that makes money, y'all. I'm kidding. Getting distracted with the voice. Gonna finish vacuuming and see if you can come back. Yeah, absolutely. Make sure you, do what you need to do. You don't have to be in my stream. And we finished your poem, so there's that. I'm back. Hold on. My dog is trying to eat a saxophone reed. Luigi. That's not food. Leave. Okay. I'm actually back. Welcome. I'm Ginny. Also known as 2/3 Lotus. And we are reading Nachtwache by DewOnTheGrass. We get to this first line. I want to dig in more to some of the ways we describe like the dark and the light here. What is crawling in the dark? A shadowed night, a wretched beast. It shuns the day and bears no mark. So spare no light, vigil least. The vigil least. It shuns the day and bears no mark. So spare no light the vigil least. Daughter, darling, say no word. Rest, my child, bear no blight. We draw our bows, we draw our swords. We pray we die, but not tonight. So, it was a very interesting line. We pray no die. And pray we die, but not tonight. Right? It feels... I don't know. I'm back to tired. I mean, like, we pray we don't die tonight makes sense, right? In this story, we don't want to die. We're gonna fight, whatever. Pray we die is very interesting, I think. The idea that like there will be an end, but we don't want it now is strange. Like not wanting living forever, which maybe leans into the fantasy idea, like not wanting to like deal with these like undeath things. I'm not sure. Regardless. Shuns the day and bears no mark, I spare no light, the vigil least. Daughter, darling, say no word, rest, my child, bear no light. So it's just going back to like protecting those who cannot protect themselves. Drawn and quartered fast asleep, we know not what we saw and seemed. As lost, dismembered, scattered sheep, to wander blind past future's dreamed. So, drawn and quartered, this would be like armed with weapons. But also fast asleep here is odd. I mean, maybe it's that they're asleep but waiting for a call. Like a night watch, right? Like something's happening, you wake up, you go fight. We know not what we saw and seemed, as lost, dismembered, scattered sheep, to wander blind past futures dreamed. The connection of sleep and dreaming, I guess the idea to me is that this is they're fighting something they don't understand. But still we rise and fight and pelt, even though we don't understand it, right? Even though it's sort of eternal, there's always darkness on the other side of the wall, whatever, we keep fighting. The foes that brashly beat us through. Until revered horizons melt, until the sunrise, right? We draw belabored breath unto. And I like this idea of fighting something we can't necessarily describe, fighting something we don't understand. Because I do think it has some broader insight into life beyond just being like a very well versed story of like this night watch, right? Because and not only that, we're not only fighting something we don't understand, but also fighting ideas, right? This idea of trying to keep secrets from coming and passing, trying to keep the people from even seeing these things. These are the things they fight against, which is like abstract, very strange thing to have to fight. But I do think it reflects life quite accurately. Some of this, to me, reminded me of almost like a Sisyphean Sisyphean effort, in that this night watch wakes every day to, is it supposed to be SYSI? I feel like it is. Anyway, for those who don't understand this is the guy who had to roll the boulder up the hill. I've talked about this on here before. And then every time he gets all the way or almost to the top, it rolls back down and he drops it. Right? This is Sisyphus. And it feels like this because every night they sort of begin their duty to fight, to protect, to keep things in order. Against the darkness, against what is not understood. And I mean, I do see it almost as not only the story of Sisyphus itself, but also the Camus Sisyphus, which is more commenting on finding meaning in life against its overall meaningless and absurdity, and sort of living in a life we don't understand, and all of that, right? Sort of feels like this, which is cool. Especially as you describe their fighting in this poem as lost, dismembered, scattered sheep, right? They're not equipped to fight the realities they see in the same way that we are not equipped to fight the complex realities of the world, and we sort of always have to be ready for them no matter what as we sleep. And in fact, we can dream and have similar pain and ideas, but fundamentally, you must always stay sort of vigil. Camus would say maybe always vigil against the idea of absurdity and the difficulties of life. I'm not saying this is directly related to Camus or that you thought this, but the idea that life is fundamentally painful, complex, something you have to fight through, and that you are not going to understand it, and yet you are going to draw your bows, draw your swords, and make it through another day, right? I was talking to someone the other day, my friend Eric, and he said for the last 3 weeks, he has been saying, I just need to make it through this week, and then it'll be good. And then the next week comes, and same thing, just need to make it to next week. And in this case, this poem is almost saying instead of next week, it's saying make it to the dawn, make it until that point when the monsters are not going to be showing up at the gates, and we'll be able to fight them off and live just one more day. Die, but not tonight. Live through this battle. And this is what this feels like, and I think that's very cool. I think that's kind of beautiful. But I mean, even here, the worst of worlds comes to pass when secrets arise, not to the masses. Legends pass where they ought, and evil masks as justice sought. Hold your line, lest when line's yours, afore your conscious darkness soars, across good kingdoms swift and low, so draw your sword and draw your bow. That, I don't know, some amount of the meaning of this fight. Yeah, I don't know if I have something to say about that. I'm very tired. I would say that's one level of metaphor that you could take this poem, talking about life as being this night watch of always having to stand vigil against the horrors of the world and how difficult things are and that kind of thing, right? Maybe an interpretation. DewOnTheGrass, You have anything you want me to talk about or look at? Because I'm running out of the ability to generate functional ideas on my own. It's bad. Y'all wore me out. I mean, I was the one who said let's talk about philosophy, but I've not really had to think philosophically in a while, and now it's on my mind. That's probably why I immediately jumped with this poem to like Camus and heavy philosophy and stuff like this, because you know, of course my mind would go there, interpretive as an interpretation at that point, right? But drawn and quartered also as in the torture method. I did not know that was a torture method. Oh. That's cool. That makes sense. I mean, in that, in this fight, it being sort of, I guess, double meaning there of torturous and painful, and that you are dismembered and lost throughout life and wandering blind into futures that you cannot even understand, and futures dreamed. Like, we have an idea of what we want in the future. It's a dream. It's false. We walk forward. That's cool. I like that. Just that slow evil is most dangerous, as it is most infinite patience and infinite time. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The battle against time itself is pretty futile when you think about it. Which maybe makes sense, pray we die, but not tonight. Because if we did not die, then this fight would be forever. And this fight would be eternal. And we would be living in just pain and suffering against the slow evil. I think you got that from the Fablehaven series. Dude, I remember that series. It was a banger. I don't really remember any of it. But I know one of the kids got a really cool sword in like the last book. And it like 8 souls or something. And I thought that was super cool. And then his sister took it and the sword changed. Yeah, it was like black in his hands. And then like she took it and then it changed and they were like fighting all sorts of stuff. This is all I remember from the book. And probably like the very start of them going to this house and drinking milk, I think, from a magical cow, and being able to see fairies. Are these things that happened? Yep, okay. What a banger. Everything in between, no idea. but yeah, those are good stories. So that's for that. Just that slow evil is most dangerous. And that somewhere nice. I do think, that's like young adult fantasy. Low key. Sometimes YA books have the most random, like, banger philosophical lines in them. I mean, it's all books, right? If we're writing from human experience, perhaps. I don't know. That's good. The slow evil. I don't know. I mean, like, I really like the verse. I think it's cool. I mean, admittedly, it's like sort of uneven sometimes. The worst of worlds comes to pass when secrets rise not to the masses is like weird. But like Loki, it's fine. It works. Like the verse is pretty clear throughout. And I like it. A shadowed night, a wretched beast, it shuns the day and bears no mark, so spare no light the vigil least. Like, I don't know, it's a well put together poem. I'm sorry, I really like dumped all my energy on and I sit alone in a gray room, and you're getting the short end of the stick here. Like, I like it. Do you watch any Dropout? Do you watch any Dropout? I was largely inspired by their A Crown of Candy D&D series. Oh, like, that's like a D&D thing. I do not, watch any, like, D&D, like, groups online. Oh, Nico knows. I don't have time to, like, sit down and watch that, I guess. And if I did, I would probably want to be running a D&D session, which I'm, like, working on ideas for what I might do for a 2/3 Lotus community D&D game that might also get streamed, so I can be them, because I've been wanting to stream D&D since before Critical Role was cool. Like, I've been wanting to stream D&D for 8 years or something. And my friends just don't want to do it. It's like, no, I have to, like, change how I act on camera. Which is fair. But, you know, there might be invitations to those in the Discord, or just an open, like, who wants to play, people who've been around for a long time in chat, which is, like, sort of you. So maybe. But these are ideas. Many, many things. It's awesome. I think it's awesome. Yeah, I mean, this is very, like, D&D. I would say, you know, it's fantasy. Draw your bows and draw your swords. But it, like, it's such good verse that I can't really, like, I have no complaints. I don't write poetry like this. I don't think I can. And that's the beauty. I don't write, like, fantasy poems, but it's like a banger. Please do hit me up if you want to run a campaign or a one-shot. Yeah, you're in the Discord, right? Are you in the Discord? Maybe you're in the Discord. Thank you, I'm glad you liked it. I am. Okay. You're not gonna be, like, mad at me if I just read this one more time and end stream? Oh my god. Raid out. Nastiness probably live by now. I just feel like I sat for like 2.5 hours with Devil's Poem, and then I like to give lots of care to the poems. I mean, you said it, it's lays everything out. It's pretty straightforward. It's telling a story, but I don't know. I wish I could spend more time with it. Not go for it. You're good. Go sleep in your pillow corner. Shut up. Y'all are... You get too much hate for that. Here's Nachtwache by DewOnTheGrass. What is crawling in the dark? A shadowed night. A wretched beast. It shuns the day and bears no mark, so spare no light. The vigil least. Daughter, darling, say no word. Rest, my child, bear no blight. We draw our bows and draw our swords and pray we die, but not tonight. Drawn and quartered, fast asleep, we knew not what we saw, and seemed as lost, dismembered, scattered sheep to wander blind past futures dreamed. But still we rise and fight and pelt the foes that brashly beat us through, until revered horizons melt, we draw belabored breath unto the worst of worlds. comes to pass when secrets rise, not to the masses. Legends pass not where they ought, and evil masks as justice sought. Hold your line, lest when line's yours, afore your conscious darkness soars across good kingdoms, swift and low. So draw your sword and draw your bow. Nachtwache by DewOnTheGrass. It's really fun to read. Like, that's a very fun poem. Like, Thank you for watching. I encourage you to check out the rest of the series, follow if you enjoyed, and stop by Twitch if you want to share your own work. See you there.